Now listen to me, Caesar. There can be only one talking chimpanzee on Earth. The child of the two talking apes.
20 years back. From the year, Senor Mando, when the two talking apes arrived on Earth.
And we believe that the male and female talking apes have come to us out of the future.
A month before the talking apes arrived on Earth.
From now on, you have but one assignment. To find that talking ape.
He's a performing ape for my circus.
A talking ape?
That idiot!
This chimpanzee...
Get out of retraction immediately. Announce that the talking ape has been apprehended and put to death.
Incredible! The talking apes!
Hey, ape fans! I know we're a little late on this episode, but somewhere in the world, it is still April. We've just been really busy over here at the Skywalking Network, putting out a ton of shows and preparing for lots of trivia panels. We've been doing a lot of conventions where we've been doing our either Star Wars trivia or our pop culture trivia panels. They've been a lot of fun, but they take a lot of work. But hopefully, we'll be back on a regular basis. Now, I am Richard Woloski, and I want to welcome you back to Talking Apes. This is your Planet of the Apes podcast, where over the past 10 years, we've been talking to the actors, authors, the fan community. We've been breaking down the Marvel comics. Speaking of which, in this episode, we are going to break down one of the most recent Planet of the Apes comic series, but I'll get to that in just a couple of seconds. And I want to remind everyone to subscribe to us on YouTube. Since our last show, we've gotten over like 1,000 subscribers, and this is where you want to go and watch the episodes because, like I prefaced earlier, we're going to be breaking down the Marvel comics, and you want to see all the fun pages, the artwork, the panels, so much to see. And you know what else you should be looking at? You should be looking at Kevin Toft. Here he is, everybody. Please rise for Kevin Toft.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, man?
I am doing great, and I am so happy with all of our YouTube subscribers. I guess everyone really wants to see these classic comic pages and the more of the current Marvel comic pages.
I'll keep saying it. It's because we're so appealing.
Oh, very nice. Now, Kevin, you got something appealing to talk about right now?
I do. I have been working for you, our ape community out there, and we are going to bolster our TeePublic offering. I've been working on some new shirt designs. So would you all like to see them?
I know I would.
Okay. All right. Well, then why don't we show and I will tell.
Oh, wow. Loving this new shirt here.
So, yeah, this is, I like this to be, I'm looking at this as the new flagship. I really like this, especially with the olive drab, our Cornelius or Galen, base color there. Love that. I've also got I've got some fun designs in here too, trying to have fun with the whole genre. So here's a fun one. I've incorporated some of our favorite characters, and we've got of course transmitting straight out of the Forbidden Zone, Taylor with his shades on.
Now, is that you right behind Taylor? I can't tell.
It is.
Oh no, that's Zaius.
That's Dr. Z, baby. I figure we got to represent. It's very easy to put a gorilla on the shirt, but I think we need some Dr. Z love. Or counselor, depending on where you're from.
Don't get that one wrong.
Yes. We'll let it be, this is Zaius. If you put the moniker on him, you decide.
All right, so that's two.
Now, here's a fun one. Yeah, there's two more. Here's a fun one. Just having some fun with a slogan that was out a while ago. And, the Forbidden Zone is a big deal. And if you're from there, it's a big deal. So that's what we got, straight out of the Forbidden Zone. As we know, Taylor was straight out of the Forbidden Zone. And so this is a fun one. And right here, we have another fun one with one of our favorite generals. And just, I wanted to push, we do it in all of them, but I really wanted people to go ape about this one. So this is the Now Go Ape shirt.
Well, you've been busy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, and these will be available on TeePublic sometime soon?
That is correct. I will work with you and Jedi Tink, and once they are up and everybody and stable and everything like that, I say we broadcast it on the social medias. What do you think?
That sounds great. So we're looking at within the next week or so?
Easily.
Okay. Yeah, we will post these in our Facebook group and our Facebook page so everyone will know when they are up for sale on a TeePublic. Great. Well, good work there, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin. Well, speaking of artwork, we have some more artwork to take a look at because in this episode, we're going to break down the very first issue of the most recent Apes comic series, Beware the Planet of the Apes. And yes, I keep saying this, we will continue our breakdown of Marvel's Beneath the Planet of the Apes adaptation that we started last summer.
Fantastic.
We're going to continue with that, but I started reading this new series, and I thought, oh, we got to break this down. It's only 4 issues, so we can get this out very quickly and then get back to Beneath.
Yes, I think the apes will love this.
Mm-hmm. Now, there have been numerous Apes comics in the last 55 years, and by my account, 11 ongoing series. Now,
Excellent.
this right here are the covers to this 4-issue miniseries, Beware the Planet of the Apes. And once again, I am so excited about this. Now, this is the latest series, and it's published by Marvel Comics, set before the events of the 1968 Apes films. So this is a prequel, and as you all know, I love me some prequels.
Yes, indeed. I love this artwork too, man. It really feels like it's from that time, and it's got all the greatest hits there, man. It is great.
Now, the story in these 4 issues, they disregard all previous tie-in material that served as prequels to the first Apes films, such as Conspiracy of the Planet of the Apes and Death of the Planet of the Apes, along with the entirety of the Boom Studios era. So keep that in mind. It's a whole different multiverse of apes.
I'm so okay with that. I can see just in the covers right there. It's I feel we're going to be well taken care of.
Oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg, Kevin.
Yeah.
Now, this is a new story set in the classic continuity of the original Apes films. In a hostile world run by aggressive gorillas, scientists Cornelius and Zira are the only apes alive who see value in the mute human race. But even they know human capabilities have severe limits. So when Zira's nephew Lucius goes missing, it is with great trepidation that they turn to a human ally, a young woman who will someday earn the name Nova. Oh.
We call them all Nova.
But the search for Lucius brings them all deeper into the Forbidden Zone, which is forbidden for a reason. What never before seen dangers awaits them in these ruins. The citizens of Ape City believed they were alone on this planet, but a world of violence lies beyond their borders. Kevin, is your spine tingling like mine?
Right now, the drums are going off. That's as soon as you finish that line, that's what I was expecting. Drums.
Now, this first issue came out January 3rd, 2024, so it is the latest of all of the ongoing Planet of the Apes comic series. It was written by Mark Guggenheim, art by Alvaro Lopez, and the cover artist is Torrin Clark. Now, let me show you this right over here. This is the cover art to the first issue. Now, Kevin, let's give our thoughts on this because I like you said, this really captures Planet of the Apes. This cover really drew me in. Nova taking front and center with a determined look on her face. Cornelius and Zira right behind her. And there's the ex-scarecrows are right behind them up on a hill, and they're drawn in a way that they all point down to Nova right in the center. That is some great geometric art. I just love everything about this. But you know what even excites me even more? Looming right behind them, backlit by a burning sun, is our good friend Dr. Zayas, who is keeping a watchful eye on everything in the ape world. I am so in.
Yes, 100%. I like the way they've got the action grouped, and then Zeus overseeing all of it. That was my first take on it. Was like, okay, this is all the stuff we love, and there he is, always lurking, always overseeing, the ever-seeing eye of Dr. Zeus.
You know what? It's almost like Darth Vader. You always see his looming helmet in the background.
Yes, he's like Darth Vader, except more argumentative.
Yeah, Darth Vader will just take his lightsaber.
Yeah, he didn't argue much.
That's the end of the conversation right there.
Chopped you, whatever. But Zeus will debate you right into the dirt. That's his whole thing.
Very true. Now, a couple of our friends over on Facebook, they had some things to say about this cover. Paul Haber says, was very interesting how they interwove the story and the Marvel adaptation of the first film. Now, that's a very good point, because what they're doing, we'll see very soon, is that the editor had combined this new artwork with the artwork from the 1970s comic. And I love that style. I've never seen any other comic interweave two different styles like this, and that's one of the big drawing point to this series. All right, Paul goes on to say the cover is really well done, but the series had about 12 different variant covers. Oh, I didn't know that. Wish the series could have gone on longer. Oh yeah, 4 is just not enough. All right, Martin Ford says, I really enjoyed this series. I wish Peter Jackson's Renaissance of the Apes script would get a comic book adaptation. Kevin, did you know anything about this Peter Jackson script?
No, but I want to now.
Yeah, I did a little digging, and I found out in 1992, Peter Jackson and his wife, Fran Walsh, developed the idea for a Planet of the Apes reboot. Then again, who didn't back in the 90s? And they focused on a period of artistic flourishing among the apes. They envisioned a world where the ape government was concerned about this artistic renaissance and featured an elderly chimpanzee inspired by Da Vinci, played by Roddy McDowell.
Oh, wouldn't that have been wonderful?
Wow, the Ape series that never was. Yes, please, let's get this into an adaptation.
Oh, yeah. It's ripe for that, isn't it?
You know, I get some contacts over there at Boom. I'm not sure if Boom still has the license, but, maybe Marvel, or, you know what? We'll do it ourselves, okay?
Well, we can get them to do it. We just send them a few hands of bananas and, and some daiquiri glasses.
Whatever it takes, I am in. I want to see this so badly. All right, Kevin, you know what else I want to see so badly? Oh, look at that segue. I want to see the story come to life. The first issue of Beware of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into this, shall we? All right, now the story opens with a recreation of the beginning of Planet of the Apes, where the Icarus crash lands. And look at that artwork. That artwork is from the 1970s adaptation.
Yeah.
Now look at this.
Looks familiar.
Taylor, Landon, and Dodge, they go skinny dipping when they see the natives go scurrying. So, that's a red flag right there. When all of a sudden, what do they see? Apes on horseback. Here's the gorilla soldier with that yellow tunic again.
Mm-hmm.
You think they would have recolorized that, but you know what? I'm good. All right. Now, that night, Ursus and his soldiers come upon a settlement. Ursus is disgusted and says, they breed like maggots. At that point, he and his men charge after them. Ursus wants them all in cages by dawn. All right, Kevin, I got to ask you, look at that bottom right panel. I'm going to blow it up here. Look at that bottom panel. What is wrong with this panel?
Well, there's trying to do motion blur, I see on the legs, but the two guys in the back are kind of...
Okay, look at Ursus.
His helmet's on.
Oh, there you go. You hit it. He's galloping very quickly on horseback, and his helmet has not fallen off yet. How does that happen? That's the first thing that stuck out to me when I saw this.
I'm telling you, there's a chin strap that you're not seeing. It's covered by the hair.
That's the only explanation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now Nova splits off from the fleeing humans and falls over a branch. This must be a horror movie, because...
Like you do.
Yeah, always got to fall in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But a hand reaches out. It's not Jason Voorhees. It's not Michael Myers or even Freddy Krueger. It's a chimpanzee, and he offers his help. And who is that chimpanzee? Well, it's our buddy Lucius.
That's right.
And he tells her he is not like the other savage gorillas. He then phonetically sounds out his name. Lucius. Lucius. I suppose you can't tell me your name, can you? He says. Nova flashes back to the time when Taylor tried to teach her how to say her name, and then he says, yeah, me Tarzan, you Jane. A gorilla yells in the distance that he thinks he saw someone head this way. Lucius says to her, now go, and he'll hold off the gorillas. She does a mad dash, and a voice calls out, Lucius? Lucius turns to see General Ursus, who demands to know who he was talking to.
Honest, it's just one of the executive's girlfriends. I mean, oops.
Ursus says he heard him yell, and a gorilla soldier says, yeah, he says, now go. But with some quick thinking, Lucius picks up some flowers and says, now go. It's an herb. Good for soups. Very rare. I was just astonished to see one. Look at this. He's a very quick thinking chimpanzee. Oh, good on you, Lucius. So then Ursus takes it, crushes it in his big leather glove, and tells Lucius to go home. As the gorillas leave, Lucius says to himself, thank you, lawgiver, for giving gorillas brawn, but not much brains. Lucius then tells Nova to come back out, and a lumbering shadow falls over the young chimpanzee. Who could it be? We won't know, because right now on this next page, it summarizes Planet of the Apes and Beneath the Planet of the Apes. So it gives you a summary of what led up, or what comes after these issues.
With a lovely vista of the Forbidden Zone behind it.
Yeah. Take that, Zeus.
Yeah.
Then the reader knows that this story takes place prior to the events of Taylor's arrival.
Mm-hmm.
The next page shows us a map. On one side of the red dotted line is Ape City. On the other side is the Forbidden Zone, the Statue of Liberty, the Hamindai Empire, Hope's Point, and Queensboro Plaza. Cut to 24 hours later at Zira and Cornelius' home in Ape City. Zira asks Cornelius if he's seen Lucius. She hadn't seen him in over a day, and now she's getting worried. She checked the lab, and Dr. Zayas hasn't seen him either. Cornelius goes out to see what he can find and runs into a gorilla soldier who was with Ursus the night of the human hunt and says he saw him and thinks he was helping a human escape. Cornelius couldn't see that happening. The soldier bites back and says that if he could prove it, he would lock Lucius up with the hairless beasts.
Ooh.
That's not nice. Cornelius goes to the spot where the gorilla saw him and calls out, "Men be damned! Boy, where are you?" And he hears rustling in the bushes. Lucius? What do you think? Is your money on Lucius?
Oh, no, because why would he be hiding?
Well,
we know why she'd be hiding.
Nova crawls out, and Cornelius says he's looking for his friend Lucius. At hearing the name Lucius, Nova smiles. Cornelius understands that she knows him. You've heard that name before. Nova tries to say his name, Lucius. Yeah, she can't. She just can't say it. He asks if she's the human that he helped, and Nova makes a face. Well, either that or she's trying to hold in a sneeze.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
She points off in the distance and pulls Cornelius that way.
Ah.
All right, look who's coming up.
Yes, our boy, the doctor, the good doctor approaches.
Dr. Z in the house. Cornelius says he can't go there. That's the Forbidden Zone. Now, back at Ape City, Cornelius and Zira have gone to see Zaius. Cornelius says there's only one way to be sure, and the doctor says,
"Out of the question. It's the Forbidden Zone, Zira, not the traipse around anywhere you please zone."
Who knew that Dr. Zaius had a sense of humor?
I know that line cracked me up. I was like, wait a minute. That's a little it's a little comic for him, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you know what? You can't always be grumpy. All right, now Zira pleads with him, but Zaya says he wouldn't have gone into the forbidden zone. Maybe he fell into a ditch, a culvert, stepped off a cliff, maybe he drowned, and then goes on to say,
In time, I imagine we'll either locate him or his remains.
so we figured out something about Dr. Zayas here. He's got no bedside manner.
Not at all. No, it remains to be seen. Oh,
Oh. Or will they? We don't know, so let's move on. Cornelius asks if he could just be permitted to enter the zone for a short time, and Zayas bites back and accuses him for using this calamity as an excuse to indulge in his archaeological ambitions. Oh, Zayas, give it a rest. He denies his request, and Zayas storms out.
okay.
Zira says she's going anyway. She doesn't need no approval. And then she says to Cornelius that he shouldn't feel obliged to go with her, and Cornelius wishes she wouldn't put him in this position, because he's between a rock and a Zira and a Zayas. And she barks back, and I wish you didn't see it as such a dilemma.
Huh? Yeah.
Cornelius, there's no winning this one.
Yeah.
All right, now, Zira rides into the night. She stops and stares off into the underbrush. She crawls into it when someone yells out, "You?" Okay, Kevin, who do you think this is?
Well, if it was you, the only person out there that speaks English would be Lucius.
Nope, it's Cornelius.
Oh.
Yeah, he
went anyways.
He went anyways, yes. He heard our conversation. Like,
He thought it through.
so then she turns around and sees Cornelius, and she knows he's been there before. I'm not sure how she knows this. This is just like a random bush in a random field somewhere.
It's his favorite bush.
And why he didn't already think to look where the human could have been hiding. So there's a lot of hand waving in this part.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of assumptions. All right, so now Cornelius didn't think she was of any importance, so he didn't listen to her. As she leads Cornelius into an underground tunnel, she says, as the lawgiver once says, answers require questions first.
We're learning more about the lawgiver. I like that.
You know what? I'm going to say the most simplistic thing and hope I'll get followers. I'm going to tell you the obvious. I can see gorillas following him after something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. All right, then Cornelius asked that maybe she, Nova, was the one that took Lucius. And Zara responds, who knows with humans? They're animals.
Oh, well, now this is out of character. She's an advocate, and then she's slamming him. Make up your mind.
Yeah, I cannot see Zara saying this about
No.
humans.
She'd find it curious.
Yeah.
I think her personality would be, this is, she'd see the potential, and she'd say, this is curious.
All right, so now the two walk the tunnels. Cornelius points out a New York City sanitation department sign on the wall. Oh, I'd love it if there was like a zoo sign there as well. He's excited at the archaeological significance and says he could spend years down here. And he turns to see a frustrated Zira. She's like, See, Zayas was right. Zayas was right. You just wanted to come on down here for your archaeological ambitions. But then again, you know what? Let's give it to Cornelius. He went down there because he wanted to be with Zira. And all the stuff is just, it's a lot of stimulus for an archaeologist. They continue down the tunnel when suddenly Nova leaps down and swipes at Cornelius. Now, let's go back a page here. Where is she leaping down from? We can see that.
Yeah, wait a minute.
A top panel. I don't
like
see
the
any
subway
hiding
tunnel.
Novas. Yeah. As we go along the bottom panels, no, I don't see. Unless she's like Spider-Man, just crawls right in. All of a sudden, yeah.
Well, she is good. That's hard to do without
Yeah.
some sort of...
See, we're learning something about Nova. I didn't know that she was a ninja. All right, with that, Cornelius throws her against the wall. Zira lunges at her, but Cornelius stops her. He says that they just startled her. Isn't that so, Dark Eyes? He asks her. And Nova glares at him. So then Nova flashes back to Cornelius asking Taylor, well, Bright Eyes, is our throat feeling better today?
They're setting a precedent, so when Taylor gets there, he's Bright Eyes. I like that.
Do you see how they cut in between this comic art and the original adaptation artwork?
Yes. I like that. It's kind of like what it's doing a really good job of flashback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once again, that right there, I've never seen that in another comic. So, Ape listeners, if you've seen this style, please let me know because I am really in for that.
Yeah, this is brilliant.
Zira says that they're looking for their nephew, Lucius. Has she seen him? And Nova shakes her head so hard that her hair is whipping around in all these different directions.
And
Check
she
it out.
looks like she's at a disco. She's rocking out.
For your hair to go forwards and backwards in one motion, you know that is a hard yes.
Yes, all that hair.
So Zira asks if she's hungry and gives her a banana. Okay.
What is Zira doing with a banana?
Yeah.
Well, why doesn't she take it? Because I loathe bananas. Zira.
I
What?
see some discrepancies here. This is not canon.
From the sounds of the movie, I would say Zira wouldn't even touch a banana.
Because she loathes bananas.
Yes.
It was right there. Another one of these hand-wavy moments. So Nova just stares at it, and Cornelius points out that she doesn't seem that interested. Yes, because it's a banana. Cornelius then asks about other humans. He knows of a settlement that even Ursus doesn't know about. A settlement that he spotted while looking for archaeological samples. And the humans didn't bother Cornelius, so he didn't bother them. Cornelius says that they will help her find her kind if she helps them find Lucius. The three head out on horseback as Nova chomps on the banana.
Look who does like bananas.
She points in a direction, and Cornelius asks if she's sure. Zira says, of course she's sure. There's one thing you need to know about humans. The female is the more intelligent of the species. You know what? I'm not going to argue.
Nope.
No, yeah. She's got it right on the nose there. Now, the three continue their trek past the Forbidden Zone. And the next morning, Nova points something out. Zira and Cornelius exclaim, by the lawgiver! Astonishing! And they come across...
Giant Stadium.
They see the remains of Yankee Stadium. I got to admit, when I first read this, that took me aback. I wasn't expecting that.
It's actually more intact than I would have expected it to be.
Well, it's like it's falling into the earth too.
Well, I mean, just from the Statue of Liberty in the movie, which was just like the head and shoulders and the torch. This is pretty well, but you know what? Maybe this is better built than just that flimsy copper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, this is bigger and heavier.
Sure.
And not much of a dramatic impact on the Statue of Liberty. All right, now we cut to a point of view of someone looking at Cornelius, Zira, and Nova through binoculars. Who are they? Someone asks. The two cloaked humans watch them. One says that the chimps are wearing outfits like the boy.
Dun dun dun.
Not like the people here in Hamandai. One hunter grabs a rifle. The only way to be certain is to be safe and to kill them. With that, they line Zira in their targeting scopes. Oh, she's being targeted. And guess what, Kevin? We gotta wait until the next issue to find out if they take out Zira. Will they unalive Zira?
No.
You don't know that. No spoilers.
The 1968 movie's the spoiler. I hate to break that to you.
Spoiler on the spoiler. So, Kevin, after all that, after the first issue of Beware the Planet of the Apes, what do you think? Are you hooked? Are you in on this?
I'm very excited. I like this a lot. Yes, I'm in. I like everything about it. The artwork, I like the flashbacks, I like where the story's going, except the part where Zira would touch a banana.
Because I loathe bananas.
Other than that, I'm all in.
Likewise here, like I said in the beginning, I always love a prequel, and the writer Mark Guggenheim really captured the tone and the characters of the film, except for those few moments where Zira calls the humans animals, and she's got a banana. Once again, I will give every issue two hand wavy parts like that.
If those guys do another one of these, they're free to consult with us. We can help them. We know these characters backwards and forwards. We could save them from little faux pas like that.
Yeah, too bad this was written last year.
Well, they could do something coming up. They might want to consult us. We'll see. You never know. We're available, boys. Give us a shout.
And I really like the part where Lucius outsmarts Ursus with the now go. Oh, now go. Hey, look at these flowers. They're called now go. That was epic. And Ursus is all like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That clears. Oh, Ursus. So I'm
trick an ape, right?
Yeah.
Chimps tricking apes.
Not that hard.
Yeah.
So I am so excited to continue this mini series.
Me too.
Like the ape said in the beginning, I just wish this were longer than 4 issues. But then again, we have the Beneath the Planet of the Apes to get back to. So plenty of ape content to come.
Indeed.
Hi, this is Paul Williams. I was Virgil in Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and you're listening to Talking Apes. Now, go ape, go ahead, go ape. Just get crazy.
I'm Tom Berman, and you're listening to Talking Apes.
This is Lou Wagner, and you're listening to Talking Apes.
Hey, everybody. This is Bobby Porter, Cornelius, from Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And you are listening to Talking Apes.
Hello, I'm Dr. Zayas from the Planet of the Apes, of course. My favorite podcast to listen to is Talking Apes, even though it's hosted by filthy humans.
Well, that does it for this episode of Talking Apes. Let us know your comments on this issue in the show's social media posts. And if you're just listening, we appreciate it. But if you really want the full effect, where you see all of these panels, you see this artwork, then please watch us on YouTube at the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you subscribe, then you get notifications, and you know when the next Talking Apes will go out. And apparently a couple of hundred, up to 1,000 people have subscribed in this last week and a half. So they're going to be watching this episode. And we want to thank our good friend Patrick Izzo for taking care of the Talking Apes Facebook group. He's been doing a great job sharing the show and posting lots and lots of content. And we'll have more content on the Facebook group when we have these new shirts available sometime the next, I would say next week. And we want to thank Rob Dellinger, who composed the theme to Talking Apes. Please check out Rob's band at alpharhythmkings.com. All right, Kevin, are you ready for this next part?
Oh, yep. Let me see.
We are part of the Skywalking Network.
Sky.
Where you can find other great shows like the Max Effects Podcast, the Neverland Clubhouse, Totally Tell Me Everything, Star Warsologies, and the flagship show, Skywalking Through Neverland. And you can watch our YouTube shows, Today in Star Wars History, and Collectopolis, which a Collectopolis episode just went out. Kevin, tell us all about that episode.
It's doing very well. So far, really good feedback. People seem to be liking the episode. It's all about our little trip to Frank and Sons collectible show. For those of you who've never been to Frank and Sons, don't know what that is. I'm betting you've probably been to a convention, Monsterpalooza, Comic-Con, something. It's like the dealer room. So it's a convention without the convention. It's just all the collectibles. And man, they have got everything. Now, of course, we went to all the geek stuff, but they have a huge section of sports memorabilia and sports collectibles. We barely scratched the surface with the time that we had, but all the trading cards, there's a bunch those are the things that we didn't get, but we got all the other stuff. And make sure you've paid off your credit card if you go. So because you're going to feel it twitching in your wallet the second you walk in the doors of this place. It's really amazing.
It's not just on weekends either. They're open weekdays.
Yeah, it's on weekdays. You check their website, frankandsons.com. You can check that out. They have their hours are posted. The only time they change their hours is during the holidays to allow a little extra shopping for the holidays, but they're not open every single day. So check out Frank and Sons collectible show and Google that and then check their hours, because like I said, they're not open every day. They've got kind of different hours, but it is pretty wonderful there. If you're looking for something, they probably have it. And if you don't see it there and you find the right dealer, they can find it for you. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Nice. And oddly enough, I still have never been there. But after seeing your video,
oh my God, Richard!
After seeing you and Ernie running around this floor,
I would be interested in filming you and Sarah walking in this place, which would be, just like Disney. Just like
Well, soon. Your mouth to the lawgiver's ears.
Yes.
So until next time, this is Richard.
And this is Kevin.
Now
go
ape and beware.